Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture Internet of Things. I'm Neda and today I'm going to talk about data visualization and dashboards. First of all, we will have a review of IoT roadmap and paths, and also we will see what are the IoT elements. We will review them, and then we will go and see IoT and data visualization platforms and how to configure and implement it. If you remember, we had this IoT roadmap and we said that, okay, we should use VS Code, and the programming language that we chose, it was MicroPython, and the board that we have, it's Raspberry Pi Pico W with the chip wireless, and also we use sensor DHT11, and it can be any other sensors, but we chose this one. And we also see that we can connect our Pico to the internet via LoRaWAN or Wi-Fi. By Wi-Fi, we used MQTT for the dashboard, and also for LoRaWAN, we use TTN, the Things network. So we see that possible paths to follow using Wi-Fi connectivity is using either this one that we covered it in lecture 6. It was Wi-Fi and MQTT, and the visualization platform was Adafruit. Or it can be Wi-Fi and HTTP, and the visualization can be UV-dots. For this part, you can follow these links on HackMD. That is quite straightforward and exactly the same that today I am going to teach you. The path that we are going to follow is LoRaWAN using webhook, and the visualization platform is DataCake. So this is how we are going to follow today. But if you remember, in IoT elements, we had sensing, and it was our sensors that connected to our Pico, and we had communication that in this case can be Wi-Fi or LoRaWAN, and also we did some computation. And then today it's about services. So services, it can be dashboards. IoT analytics platform or dashboards are powerful tools that enable businesses and individuals to visualize their data. And these data are generated by these sensors or IoT devices, we call it. So this platform provides a centralized to monitor, manage, and gain insights from the data collected by IoT sensors and devices. Dashboards offer data integration, real-time monitoring, visualization, analytic, scalability, security, and integration capabilities. This platform also empower businesses to harness the potential of their IoT deployments and make data-driven decisions for improved efficiency and operational excellence. So visualizing IoT data is crucial for understanding complex information at a glance. Dashboard platforms offer customizable dashboards with interactive charts, graphs, and maps, which enables users or us to create meaningful visual representation of our IoT data. So we will see today how we can create our dashboard. DataCake as a visualization platform is an IoT platform that helps businesses collect, manage, and make sense of the data from their Internet of Things devices. So it provides tools and services to connect IoT devices, visualize data, and automate workflows. With Data Cake, businesses can monitor and control their IoT devices and analyze data and make informed decisions to improve efficiency and productivity. And it simplifies the process of managing and utilizing IoT data and make it accessible and actionable for businesses of all sizes. Also, DataCake offers a white label IoT solution, which refers to the ability for businesses and individuals to customize and brand the IoT platform with their own logo and with their own colors and branding elements. White labeling allows users to present the IoT platform as their own, giving them the opportunity to offer IoT services under their own brand name. Also, DataCake works with every LoRaWAN network server, as you can see here, like TTN, TTI, and LoRa IoT, CareLink, ChirpStack, that I'm sure I talked about these LoRaWAN network servers in the previous lecture. And also on Helium and KPN IoT and Actility. So it's work with these different LoRaWAN network servers. But today, since we chose DataCake and we already in the previous lecture we learned how to send the data to the Things network or TTN. Now we need to connect the LoRaWAN network server, TTN, and the visualization platform, DataCake. So how we are connecting these two is using the webhooks. The first step that you need to do is that in the TTN side, you need to click at webhook button and then enter the webhook ID and token. But what these two are? Webhook ID is the ID that this is a name that you choose for your webhook. For example, in my case, is my new DataCake webhook, but the token is the API from the DataCake. So in the TTN, when we are creating a webhook that connected to our DataCake, then we need the API from DataCake. So you need to go to the DataCake's website and click your DataCake account profile and click the edit profile, as you can see here, and choose the API and here and copy this API and paste it here. So this token in TTN side it's come from DataCake. Then after that, you will create your, you need to push the create DataCake webhook button and then it will be created for you. So don't worry, I will tell you how you need to create your DataCake in the next step. So before we go to DataCake, that it includes 30 steps, in TTN side, when we created our webhook, you will see this record that shows your webhook ID and the URL and the status that it says that healthy. It was from the TTN side. So we understood that we need to connect TTN to DataCake via webhook. Now let's go to the DataCake side. First of all, we need to go to datacake.co website and click the dashboard button and create a DataCake account and log in with your account. And then you need to click the devices tab, as you can see here. And then click the add device button, as you can see here. Please don't mind here that there are two other devices that I already had in my data cake account. Um, so you need to push the button add device, and then here choose the LoRaWAN connectivity type and click the next button. In step 1, choose the new product plan, and then choose a product name. For example, in my case, it is called Neda Pico, and then click the next button. In step 2, choose the Things Stack v3 network server and click the next button. As you can see, there are other options that shows that which one your data cake do you like to connect. I mean, what is your network, LoRaWAN network server? You can see there are Helium, LoRa, IoT, Chirp Stack, Activity. But since we are working with TTN, then we choose the first one. And in step 3, you need to select the manual tab here and enter the dev UI name, location, and tags. They are optional, but dev UI, you need to take it from your device. You learn that your what is your dev UI from the previous lecture. So just copy it here and give it a name. I name it Pico W, and my location is Kalmar. So the other option, maybe you ask why not import from the Things stack. So you can have a CSV file, and in this CSV file you can have many different devices with different properties. I mean, the UI, device name, and location are defined, and then you read all of this file. But in this case, since we have one device, then we choose manual and import the information about it. Then click the next button. We were step 12. Now in step 13, in step 4, choose the free plan and choose add one device here. We need to choose a free plan because the others cost, for example, €1 per month you need to pay. So here in step 14, click on your newly created device. As you can see here, I name it Pico W, so I am here when my device is created. And then we start with the configuration tab here. So click on the configuration tab. In the configuration tab, we need to fix data reading using the payload decoder section. If you remember, when we send data from our VS Code, I need to explain here first. We have temperature and humidity as minus 14.2 and 42.5. I'm sending these two data. And I'm converting the float values like these two numbers to integers by multiplying by a factor 10. So I will send it as 142 and 425 by this. Since you learned before by Starak, that is the big endian, and H is 2 bytes unsigned. Sorry, H small is signed and is 2 bytes for temperature, and H capital is 2 bytes but unsigned for the humidity. For temperature, we choose signed because we can have minus the temperature that is like here, minus 14. But humidity range from 0 to 100. Don't worry about this code. You can access the code from this link. The code are here in the GitHub repository. And another point is when you are going to copy all the code, don't forget that replace your dev UI, app UI, and app key with your own keys after copying. Never forget that, otherwise you cannot get connected. Anyhow, we were here. So we know that now we are sending in 4 bytes, 2 bytes for temperature and 2 bytes for humidity. And it will go decoded. It will be sent by decoding. So, I mean, it is decoded and then it is sent, and in hexadecimal we are decoding. So what we are sending, it will be this FF7201A9, 4 bytes. This is 1 byte, this is 1 byte, this is 1 byte, and this is 1 byte. And each 2 bytes is for temperature, and 2 bytes is for humidity. 2 bytes for temperature and 2 bytes for humidity. Overall 4 bytes. So then it came to the TTN. If you remember, you will get this payload in your TTN. FF7201 and A9. So when you come here, now you have these 4 bytes that they are 32 bits. In the data cake, in payload decoder section, we need to decode this payload. Now we have here a payload that is a list. In this list, we have these values FF7201A9. In payload 0, the first element of the the first element of the list is FF. The second one is 72, and the third one is 01, and the fourth one is A9. You need to extract it. I mean, you need to construct again in these bytes. So we need to shift it FF 24 bits or 3 bytes. Look at here. If you suppose all of them are 0, then we need to put FF in the at the first of the bytes that we have. I mean here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. So it should come and sit here, FF. For putting FF here, we need to have a left shift 3 bytes, 1, 2, 3, because I told you that each of them are 1 byte. So 1, 2, 3, 3 bytes, that it equals to 24 bits, because we know that each 1 byte is 8 bits. So 24 bits, you shift this and FF become here. And then after that, you shift it right 16 bit. And then when you shift it 16 bit, it will become 0 at the back of the FF, in the behind the FF. It's like that you are we are putting 0 behind that, behind the FF. So after this 16 shift to the right, you need to do bitwise OR operation, and combine this OR operation combines the shifted values with the original value of payload 1, that it is 72. So it will result in FF72. and you will get the value that you wanted, FF72, that it was for temperature. Then you need to divide it by 10, because when you were sending it in your code, you were multiplying by 10. Now in this side you need to do inverse, you need to do divided by 10, that you get that value that you want. So it was for the temperature. For the humidity, you need only shift one byte, that it is 8 bits, and and it means 8 position, 8 bits when we say to the left, and it will result in 0100. And then you do the bitwise OR operation that combines the shifted value with the um, original value of payload 3, that is A9. And then the result of the bitwise OR operation, it will become 01 A9. So you will get the value of the humidity that you wanted, and it was 01 A9. And then you divide it by the 10, because as I said, in your code you multiply it by 10 to just get rid of the float and send it in the integer. Now you need to do this inversely and divide it by the 10. So you will get the value of the humidity also. So this one will return the value of 14, the value that we had in the code, minus 14.2, and this one will return 42.5, your humidity value. So you need to put this code, this snippet code, in the payload decoder section. So let's see if after we put that payload decoder in our payload decoder section, let's see if it works or no. You will take that hexadecimal value and put it in the payload, and you click the button try decoder. And you will see in the output that you will get that 2 value that you were sending by your code. And it ended up in TTN. Now you can see in data cake. So if everything works correctly, you should be able to see the data values sent by your Pico here. After doing this step, always save, click the save button, because you need to save and have this payload decoder. And after that, you will get this message that LoRaWAN decoder settings have been updated successfully. Step 19, we need to add this temperature and humidity as a field. So go to the field section and click the plus add field button, and choose the proper type of the sensor data here. For example, we were sending float data. Yes, it was minus 14, 2 or 42.5, that they are float. So we choose the type float, and then also for name, we can choose the name that is totally related, and it is temperature, and the unit for the temperature is Celsius. Exactly, you should do it for the humidity. Sorry, I wrote here temperature. Yeah, I mean that these two you need to do for temperature and humidity. So if it is the humidity, you will choose the type float and the name humidity, and the unit as a relative humidity you need to put. So, and then click the add field button here, and you will see the message the field has been added successfully. In step 22, click the dashboard tab, and you will see here the warning message that this device does not have a dashboard yet, and start by activating the edit mode using the switch in the top right. So we need to click on this toggle button and start creating our dashboard. You need to click the add widget button and choose the value widget, and then start editing the widget in the data tab. When you start to edit the value, first of all, you will get 0 because you have not chosen yet the field. After choosing the field, these two fields, they are that one that we created in previous steps, temperature and humidity. For the temperature, choose the temperature, and when you choose it, you will see exactly the data. And for the unit, you need to choose Celsius. And decimal places, leave it as 2. So choose temperature in the field combo box and write Celsius for temperature in the unit section. This relative humidity, I will you need to remove it. Sorry, just because of the copy is here, and then you need to push the save button. Let's see in data cake on dashboard, when you add widgets for your data visualization, you will need to enter the symbol of the data, such as Celsius for temperature and relative humidity for humidity. On a Mac, to enter the degree Celsius symbol, you need to use Command Control Space Bar shortcut to open the character viewer, and then search for the degree, and you will see all the symbols you want. And once you created your dashboard, you need to toggle the button on the right side to freeze it. Never forget this, otherwise you will lose your dashboard. And relatively humidity, why we put it like this, what is relatively humidity is it measures water vapor but is relative to the temperature of the air, and it always expressed as a percent. So that's why we put percentage symbol here, percentage and relative humidity. And then choose the gauge tab. In the gauge tab, and before we were in the data, now in the gauge tab, you need to choose the type of the gauge that you want. I choose circular. And when I choose this one, you can see this is circular, and you need to put values if you like to decorate it. I mean, for example, -20, it will be blue, the color, and 10, that is a little warm, it is yellow, and 40, that is very hot, and it is red. And then you push the save button. And then the dashboard of temperature will look like this in your data cake dashboard. And for the humidity, you need to repeat step 23 and 24 for creating the humidity widget this time, and then edit the widget in the data tab. This time in this field, choose humidity, and for the unit, you need to write percentage RH, relative humidity, and then push the save button. And then choose the gauge type. Here I choose again a circular one, and I enter the values from 0 to 100. So the humidity that goes from 0 to 100, you can see here. And I divided in this to 3 values with different numbers. And then you will have your dashboard here of temperature and humidity widget that you created. You can see we send this data -14.2 and 42.5, and now we can see that we can see our data in the data cake visualization platform. So you can visualize your sensor data in the IoT visualization platform using webhooks, data cake, Ubidas, and Adafruit with different wireless connectivities, Wi-Fi and LoRaWAN. You have different paths or possibilities. And we learn what are the data cake and Ubidas visualization platform, and we learn how to visualize our sensor data and visualization tools like DataCake, Ubidas, and Adafruit using different wireless technologies, Wi-Fi and LoRaWAN. I put next like this, maybe this was the maybe it's not the last lecture, but overall it was 8 lecture. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and maybe later we will have other lecture about the other parts and platforms in the IoT. Thanks for your time, and if you have any question or if you have any feedback, please write me on a Slack, or you're always welcome to the IoT Lab in Kalmar. Bye.